This is the moment that kicks off a baffling investigation.
It looks like somebody's laying in the road.
No, like on the shoulder, like maybe they were walking and somebody hit them. Unless it was a deer, it looked like a body.
First responders walked into a strange scene that morning. What really happened to 19-year-old Noah Presgrove? I'm Chris. This is your recap. At least 2 drivers see something weird early Monday morning, September 4th, 2023.
911, what is your emergency?
Yes, ma'am. I was driving to work. I'm south of Terrell, or north of Terrell, south of Ryan.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's somebody laying dead along the road. They look naked. I'm staying back.
Okay, I just had 2 calls on that, and I have a deputy headed that way.
I turned around because I just about hit it because there's a deer run across the road. And I'm like, first I thought it was a deer, and I was talking to a guy I work with. I'm like, I don't think that's a deer.
Yeah, that's what my first caller said, thought it was a deer, and then when he looked back and he said, no, there's no way that's a deer.
No. And it actually looks like there's a piece of clothing maybe laying in the middle of the road now.
Just before 6 a.m., 19-year-old Noah Presgrove is found laying on the side of a 2-lane highway near Terrell, Oklahoma. His white shorts and a couple of teeth are nearby. Noah's naked except for a pair of mismatched shoes. From the waist up, his body is covered in blunt force trauma. That caller stays on the scene, making sure nothing's disturbed until the cops show up. But he's not the first one to call 911. The first guy, a truck driver, turns around and comes back after calling for help. Then, someone unexpected turns up. Noah's best friend, Jack Newton. But what's even more surprising is that Jack was one of the last people to see Noah alive. Let's rewind a little. Just about a mile away, a girl is celebrating her 22nd birthday with a weekend-long rager. A viral Snapchat invite with her address brings in every popular kid for miles around. To get to her house, you have to turn off Highway 81 and go down a narrow dirt road. Dozens of people, including Noah and Jack, come and go between Friday and Sunday. The party goes about how you'd expect a drunken bash with a bunch of teenagers to go. There's drama. Noah and Jack get into it after Noah spends too much time talking alone with Jack's girlfriend, the birthday girl's sister. But most people agree it's not that big of a deal, just the kind of thing that happens when everyone's drinking. There are some bad decisions. Snapchat videos from Saturday night show some party people riding on Noah's back and butt with markers. They sign their names and draw some crazy pictures all over him. There's weird play fights. There's not much to it. You just get drunk and slap each other until you can't anymore. It seems like your typical house party in the country. At some point Sunday morning, September 3rd, Noah goes home to check on his grandma, who he lives with. He wants to clean up and do some errands before he goes back to the party that night. He leaves his car at home and hitches a ride back with friends, and things pretty much pick up where they left off. Everyone's drinking, having a good time, until Noah gets into a scuffle with a 16-year-old kid named Mikey. Mikey thinks Noah took his phone. Noah doesn't know what the hell Mikey's talking about, and the two almost come to blows. Some eyewitness accounts say Mikey fish-hooked Noah's mouth, so Noah bit his finger. Once again, it's a drunken misunderstanding. Some kid fell asleep on the couch. Mikey's phone is under his leg. Noah's friend Jack says he passed out around 2 a.m. At some point after that, maybe close to 3 a.m., Noah and a few other guys steal the keys to his ATV and take it for a joyride around the property. Noah rolls it, but he's not seriously hurt. Everyone says he comes back to the party safe and sound, except for a few scrapes on his hand. He's dirty, though, and too drunk to clean himself up, so a few of his girlfriends bring him to the shower, where they wash most of the grime and marker away. After his shower, Noah puts on a pair of white, loose-fitting wrestling shorts. He asks the birthday girl if he can crash in her bed, but she tells him to sleep on the floor. Now, this rubs him the wrong way, and he storms out the door. This is around 3:30 in the morning, Monday, September 4th. This whole storming off thing is nothing new according to his friends. He always comes back after he cools off. But not this time. This time, Noah is found on the side of the highway with some very mysterious injuries. The 911 calls start coming in close to 6 a.m. How long was Noah laying there? What exactly happened between 3:30 and 6 that morning? According to Officer Wilson, law enforcement can usually recreate 99% of the scene, but not this one. This whole situation doesn't sit well with him. The white shorts aren't damaged at all, but Noah's favorite silver chain is in 3 pieces next to a part of a tooth several feet away. The rest of the chain is never found. So why does Jack show up at the scene? He tells People magazine he's on his way to go fishing with his dad and grandpa when he sees the semi on the highway. That's when he says he spots the body on the road. According to the 911 callers who got there first, Noah is laid out along the white line on the shoulder of the highway, on his right side with his back to the road and legs toward the ditch. Okay, so it's a hit and run. Well, maybe. The first cops to show up on the scene have their doubts. There was blood, but not as much as there should have been, let me put it that way. That's what Jefferson County Sheriff Jeremy Wilson told People magazine recently. And it makes sense, doesn't it? If a car hit Noah as he was walking along the side of the highway, you'd expect a lot more blood. Especially because according to the autopsy report, Noah lost about 3 pints of blood. So where did it all go? There was only one blood spot found several feet away from him. But it's what else is missing from the scene that makes this case even stranger. There are no car parts or debris at the scene, nothing to suggest a vehicle hit him. If you've ever hit a deer with your car, you know how much damage it does. Some pieces of your car would be left behind. But in this case, the cops didn't find anything. They looked up and down the highway and in ditches for half a mile both directions, but nothing. And what about his injuries? The autopsy results must offer some clues about what killed him, right? Well, yes and no. A clump of hair is found on his right buttock without blood or tissue, according to the autopsy report. There's another clump of hair on the highway several feet away. The damage to his head is also strange. He's got an 8-inch wound on the top left side. It's not an easy area to injure by accident, and this wound goes deep, all the way to the bone, according to the medical examiner's report. You wouldn't fall down and hurt yourself that way. You'd have to be hit hard across the head with something. But do you want to hear something even stranger? The left side of his tongue is also injured. In fact, he's got cuts all along the left side of his head from his neck to his eyebrow. How does something like that happen? Is this a freak accident, or did somebody dump his body on the side of Highway 81? He also has major blunt force trauma to his torso. Both shoulder blades fractured, ribs broken, spinal column broken, lungs punctured, the back of his head is caved in. He's a mess from the waist up. Even his fingers are injured. Waist down, he's a lot less banged up. He still has a stick figure drawing on his right thigh, but other than that, all the marker names and drawings are gone. A hit and run can't be ruled out, but then again, neither can a beating. Why were his shorts off but not his shoes? The white shorts were in the middle of the road, and police later folded them up and put them near the body. So why was Noah wearing 2 different shoes? There's an explanation for that. One shoe is his, and he grabbed some other guy's shoe when he stormed out of the house. But the other shoe is a slip-on, so if a vehicle hit him with enough force to knock his shorts off, why didn't at least one shoe go with them? But both shoes had debris and grass inside of them, according to the autopsy report. But we just keep coming back to the lack of blood. Experts say there would have been a lot of it from the head injuries. So where is it? This is the kind of mystery that makes some people think Noah was killed somewhere else, then dumped on the side of the highway. That, or he was thrown from the back of a pickup and got all those injuries when he hit the pavement, which accounts for that one spot of blood on the road. The medical examiner lists his cause of death as multiple blunt force injuries. Manner of death? Unknown. The county cops are baffled, but they're not the ones officially investigating this case. Because he was found on the highway, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol have jurisdiction, and they say they're not treating this like a homicide. This 19-year-old was on his way to a bright future. He was loved by his family and friends and planning on a military career. Someone took it all away from him. If he was hit by a car, somebody out there is sitting on a big secret. You don't just hit a 6-foot-tall, 175-pound human and not notice. And if something more sinister is happening here, then it's hard to know who to trust. Every detail from the time he was first found to how exactly he was found and who did what and when is being hotly debated online. Noah's family already lost Noah. Now they've lost their faith in some of the people around them. In an interview with People magazine, his brother says there are many conflicting accounts of that night. With so much time passing, it seems that the stories are changing. Other times it feels like they are reading off a script. It's hard to trust anyone. He didn't just trip and fall and shatter his spine and skull and ribs. He had no drugs in his system, according to the autopsy report. Somebody did this to him, either intentionally or unintentionally. That person is the only one who knows what really happened to Noah Presgrove. If you're that person, there is one woman who wants to help you get the truth out. Jan Fiorillo from Duncan, Oklahoma made this generous offer. Anybody that has any information, an eyewitness or someone that's considering turning into state's witness, if your information is something that will help with the case, or if you're looking to be represented as a state's witness to help you negotiate a plea deal, then she will pay for your attorney's fees to do that. It's pretty clear that people are ready to hear the truth, no matter what they have to do to get it out there. So, what do you think the truth is? Let's talk about it in the comments below, and if you like getting all the crime in half the time, it would mean a lot to us if you took a second to give this a like and remember to subscribe so you never miss a recap. We are here 3 times a week. See you soon.